If you're a Michigan basketball fan tonight, you've got to be feeling like king of the state. The Michigan basketball team just finished something they haven't done in more than a decade. They swept Michigan State during the regular season. Michigan closed out the game tonight 90-80 with a win in Ann Arbor, completing the sweep for the first time since the 2013-2014 season. And this wasn't some fluky win, folks. I mean, this was two top 10 teams, a number 3 Michigan squad taking down a number 8 Michigan State team in a game that capped off what might be one of the greatest regular seasons in Wolverine basketball history. Now, Michigan State has struggled this year. They're starting to pick it up a little bit, but they're obviously not to the level that Michigan is. I mean, we know that for sure. I mean, they played them twice. They lost both games. I think if they played them next week, they'd lose again. What makes this sweep so impressive is the context around it. And I just mentioned some of that. It's because Michigan didn't just beat Michigan State once. They beat them twice in convincing fashion both times this year. Earlier in the season, they went into East Lansing and won 73-81. And then they came home on senior day and handled business again with that 90-80 victory that we just saw. These weren't lucky wins. These were statement games against one of the most respected programs in college basketball, led by Hall of Fame coach Tom Izzo. Now, I think it's safe to say that the glory days are over for Michigan State. They haven't won a national title in 20 plus years. I mean, they're consistently good, but I mean, at the end of the day, if you're not winning a championship, does it matter? Honestly, does it really make a difference? Michigan controlled stretches of both games. They showed composure down the stretch and proved that the Wolverines are just simply the better team. I didn't see anything. I know that at the end of the half, it was kind of close, but it kept looking like Michigan State was just hanging around long enough. You know what I'm saying? Like eventually they weren't going to be neck and neck with Michigan. It just, that's my takeaway from watching the game. It just looked like, okay, they're in it. Okay, they're in it. Okay, they're in it. And not going to work anymore. That's what it looked like. And this latest win for Michigan really puts an exclamation point on a very historic season. Michigan now finishes the regular season with a remarkable 29-2 overall record and a staggering 19-1 mark in the Big Ten. That 19 conference wins is the most in league history for a single season. And it helped Michigan clinch the outright conference title by a comfortable margin. When you start stacking numbers up like that, you're no longer talking about a good season. And I've talked about this in some of my other segments, but you're talking about a team that could go down as one of the best in the program's history. National title is on the table. Like, I think people are going to be surprised if they don't win it. And so what does this mean for Michigan moving forward after tonight? Well, first and foremost, it locks them in as the number 1 seed in the Big Ten tournament, which will take place in Chicago. And that means that the Wolverines have the clearest path to another championship before March Madness even begins. But even bigger than that, this season has positioned Michigan extremely well for the NCAA tournament. A lot of people already view them as a near lock for number 1 nationally, which means favorable matchups and the ability to stay closer to home in the early rounds. I know I do. I mean, they should be the number 1 seed, period. When you combine elite seeding with the confidence of sweeping a rival like Michigan State twice, it gives a tremendous momentum heading into March. And part of the reason Michigan looks so dangerous is the way they're winning these games. In this rivalry matchup, Yaxel Lendenberg delivered a massive performance with 27 points. You've got teammates like Merez Johnson, Roddy Gale, Trey McKinney, all contributed offensively. That balance is exactly what championship teams need. You're not relying on one star. On any given night, multiple players step up and carry the load. That makes Michigan incredibly hard to defend when the postseason begins. But I'm going to tell you right now, beyond the numbers and the stats, there's something else going on here. Michigan has clearly taken control of basketball in this state. For years, Michigan State under Izzo was the dominant program. I don't think there's any disputing that. They were the team that represented the Big Ten on the national stage for basketball. Football, obviously, that's nowhere near the case. But the roles appear to be flipping. When Michigan fans were chanting "Little Brother" late in the game, it captured the moment, whether Spartan fans want to hear it or not. Michigan State hasn't won a title in 20-some years. Michigan pounded them this season, back to back. I think, again, I'm going to say it again. If they played them tomorrow, Michigan State would lose again. They just don't look that good. The Wolverines have the better record, the higher ranking, and now the season sweep to prove it. Now, from Michigan State's perspective, this loss isn't the end of the world, but it does sting for them. I can tell you that. I mean, just go on x.com and take a look. They're upset. The Spartans are still a very good team. They're still ranked in the top 10. They're likely heading into the Big Ten tournament as around the number 3 seed, depending on other results. They've got some talent. They've got some experience, of course. And they've got one of the greatest coaches in college basketball on their sideline. But this sweep is a reminder that they're behind Michigan now, clearly. They're chasing Michigan, not the other way around. For Michigan State, their focus now shifts to responding in March. Rivalry losses can sometimes light a fire under teams. And the Spartans are going to try to use this as motivation heading into both the conference tournament and the NCAA tournament. The talent is there. Players like Jeremy Fears and Jackson Kohler had strong performances, even in defeat. The question is going to be whether Michigan State can tighten up defensively and avoid the scoring runs that allowed Michigan to pull away late in this game. I don't think they can. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be honest about it. I know not everybody wants to hear that. I don't think they can. I watched both games. I've watched Michigan a lot of this season. I've caught a couple of Michigan State games. Michigan just looks that much better. I mean, they really do. And make no mistake about it. Right now, the state of Michigan belongs to the Wolverines. They've got the best record. They've got the Big Ten championship. They've got the sweep over their biggest in-state rival. And perhaps most importantly, they look like a team built for a deep tournament run. I've been saying it all season. This is a squad that can shoot, defend, rebound, close out games under pressure. Those are the exact ingredients you need for a national title contender. And that's why people around college basketball are starting to talk about Michigan not just as a good team, but as a legitimate national championship threat. When you dominate your conference, when you beat elite opponents and enter March with this kind of confidence, that's when special things start to happen. If the Wolverines carry this momentum into the postseason, which I don't see any reason why they're not going to, it's not crazy to imagine them cutting down the nets in April. As a matter of fact, everyone is expecting it at this point, myself included. I'd have to imagine state fans are thinking the same thing. Got thumped twice this season. Wasn't even close. Right now, Michigan basketball is rolling. The rivalry bragging rights belong in Ann Arbor. And the Wolverines look like the best team in the state and maybe one of the best teams in the country. And when you sweep your biggest rival for the first time in over a decade, that's exactly the kind of moment that can define a championship season.